Welcome back, pure structure traders, for another market analysis for the London session and potentially into the US session. Today is April 8th, 2021 here in Hawaii, and will be April 9th, 2021 in London. Today we'll be going over S&P 500 and also gold. Give you guys some levels that we're going to be looking at for London session, and those levels potentially could hold into the US session. Again, guys, if you guys do like these videos, please go ahead and smash that like button. If you guys are not subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel here. Get those notifications when we do put up another video. These market analysis videos for London session and also into the US session market analysis are very helpful when it comes to trading. If you guys have any questions, feel free to pop them in here on YouTube. We'd love to get back to you guys. If you guys are interested in joining us, feel free to pop into the Pure Structure Trading website with us, and we will go ahead and email you guys when we have any new content put up for you guys. And also, if you guys are interested in coaching, we do have opportunities for that as well when it comes to pure structure trading. So with that said, guys, let's go ahead and get into it. So for S&P 500, we did have a very nice grind back to the upside again for the US session. Now, when we're in the London session, even before the London session, we actually did get a nice push right up to our measured move of 40.93, and from there we started to slowly grind back to the downside. But by the time the US session opened up, we actually hit right, well, maybe a little bit after the US session opening, we hit off a very strong level of support, prior level of resistance at 74.25. Couldn't break that to the downside, and then started to move back up from there. Had a good opportunity to get right off these 74 to 75s, as we've seen these sellers fail to get lower and these buyers pick it up from there and pull it. We did push right back up to our 93 measured move, and from there hit our target level above that at 4100. So what are we looking for on S&P 500 for London session and moving into the US session for Friday? Now again, it's been a long week, guys. You do want to take into consideration that Fridays usually you do have some grinding moves, right? If it's something that you struggle with, it's best to watch. Again, watching markets is just as much trading as trading the market itself, right? Learning how to identify the market structure, the price action, the movement, right? To see it, to work with it, to flow with it, right? And to kind of get better as you pick things up and you understand what works for you as far as entries, as strategies, and what doesn't. All right, so with Fridays again, we may see some grinding movement, but let's take a look at what we're going to be looking at for S&P. These 93s are going to be our first level of interest. Now, again, I know that we are pretty high, and it could feel a little bit risky for us to look to be trying to buy around these top areas that we have. Now, for this one here, we are going to look for a bounce. First area of bounce is going to be here at 93. Now, what we really want to see is from these 93s, these sellers fail to pull it down deeper, and then we attack that 4100 and try to press into these 4105s as the next measured move. This would be great, a great opportunity to have, but something could potentially happen here where we get this market to try to pull, come back, pull again. It can't break that 4100, and then it starts to pull itself down. These sellers start to make this movement down, and we could actually get this market back down into 40.85. Slight range of motion right here at the lows of 40.80. You can see what could happen is that the market could actually break this top level, bring it down to 85 to 80, and then get the support here. And if not there, you could see a strong level of support at 74. So for us during the London session, we are going to look to see if we can actually get this grind higher if we stay above these 93s. Now, there's a lot of different things that could happen here. That's why it's very important to understand your levels, to understand how to actually trade off of your levels. And if something's not, a comfortable trade for you, don't put yourself into it, right? Trading again is about what if statements and probabilities, right? If you're uncertain about a trade, don't put yourself into that type of trade. Just wait till you can better understand the price action from better levels, and then look to attack the trade from there, right? You want to make sure that when you're putting risk on, you're putting risk on at the highest probability areas that you can see possible, right? That way, if the trade still doesn't work out for you, you didn't do anything wrong. You did your analysis right, you did your levels right, you did everything you could have possibly done. It's just the market decided it didn't want to do, what you were anticipating the market to actually do. Just didn't work out, right? That way you don't get too caught up in the emotions of everything, and you're just gonna trade that type of process you got set up, right? That's something really hard, and something that definitely takes a lot of practice for traders, right? Whether you replay or whether you put yourself continually into the market, it does take a continued practice of constantly looking to see what you're good at, what you're not good at, the trades you need to alleviate, and the trades that you want to stick with, the process you want to stick with, and just continue to apply that consistently over and over and over again. All right, so here we are going to look for that minor level right here. Boom, right off these 93s, and potentially could be a major level of support. But here's what could happen. You could get this grind, and here's how I want to see it. Right, if we get this grinding move right here, bouncing around this area throughout the London session, and we still can't pull deeper underneath 93, and you know what, we may pull over here underneath 93, and if we get underneath 93, we want to see these sellers pull it down to 85. If by the US session we don't pull down to 85 to 80, right in this little bit of a range sitting right here, right, if we don't pull down into this area by the US session, when we open up for the US session, and if it pops back like this, look for this market to actually head right back up to 4100, and then potentially try to break that into 4105 as a top level. Above that, we're going to look for 4112 as a nice measured move at the top there. But again, we could top right off here and then get a nice double top and pull down. So you guys want to pay attention. Fridays can always be a little bit of a weird movement. So you don't want to continue to try to put yourself into situations where you're not really certain about the type of trades you're going to take. If you're going to try one, best area to try one here is at 93 for long. Underneath that, you can look for 93 to act as resistance, and you can try to get that to come back down. If you're not too keen on the short side, then don't look to take the short side. Look for the market to actually come down to supports, and then support the idea for the long. If the price cannot get past 74 here, this is going to be another great opportunity to look to buy for that support there, right back in, not all the way up here at 93. You're going to try to take off between right here at these 84 to 86s. Yeah, you don't want to try to push this area all the way up into 85. You can, but if you're gonna take these longs and you only got a couple lots, one or two lots, take your points. Right, you're gonna want to try to grind it into this range, get it past this range right up to these 85 to 86s, and then if we can continue to pop higher, you're gonna look for those 93s. Now on the short side here, if you're not looking to try to take it from 93 and get that grind down into these 80 to 85s and then 74s, underneath these 74s could actually pull price back deeper right into these 58.25s to the low of about 52 to 53 as a major level of support. When we zoom out of this, you can see that is a great level of support down below, and below this 52 we would grind back, right, well, not even grind back, we may even fall right back in to those 40 to 38s. All right, so we want to keep in mind where we're at during the London session and what happens as we open up into the US session. And again, for those who are part of Pure Structure Trading, you will be in the room with us. So we will do another analysis for you guys into the US session, give you guys some of the levels, give you guys some ideas that we're going to be looking for. If you guys, again, are interested in doing that, or even have any questions, feel free to pop the questions in here. Feel free to pop on to Pure Structure Trading and do our membership with us. Get inside, ask the questions needed, right? Join us as we trade. Watch to see how we actually trade the markets, the levels we look at, dig into our minds, right? And again, it's always good to put those questions out there if you're struggling psychologically, if you're struggling with consistency in trading, right? If you're struggling to even make a couple points of profit, it's always best to get around mentors who do this on a daily basis, who can help you with the psychology of trading, who can help pinpoint what's going on with your trading, the pain points that you might have to help you become aware. But at the end of the day, guys, no matter how much awareness I give you or my partner Wendy gives you in trading, at the end of the day, it is up to you to decide to change your habits. Right? So if you're going to do anything the best thing to do is to learn to see what you're doing wrong and to try your best to change that, right? Some people think it's a fast thing, and with trading to become successful, it's not. It's a slow grind. You got a lot of things you got to work through. You got a lot of things within yourself that you're gonna have to work through, right? So don't try to make this some type of race, right? Everybody has a different pace they work at, right? That I I don't think I can tell anybody exactly a specific time on how fast or how slow they'll grow. It's based off of them and how quickly they choose to change the things that are hindering their performance. All right, so try not to rush into things, right? This isn't trading, day trading is not something that's quick money. Even though you see a lot of videos out there and you see a lot of people boasting about how much money they made, what they're buying with their money, all of that. The reality is that's not how it works. The majority of people are quitting trading, almost immediately because they're blowing account after account after account. Savings that they put away for years are immediately blown, right? Because they think that with trading they can make money really quickly, and that's not how it works. All right, so with that, back to this, guys. Again, you are looking for that support 93. You may have a bounce here at 85, but you gotta watch this area. You gotta watch how it actually moves. It may bounce right off this level, support the idea, and go back up. It may come all the way back into the bottom of that range here, hit off those 80s and bounce. Again, if you're not looking for the short here, you can look for the short under 74, but if price gets all the way back to 74 and holds this support, you may find another great bounce right off. For me, the shorts are better right underneath 74 as we grind back down below. But again, for those who are part of pure structure trading, we'll go over some of the trade ideas that potentially could happen for Friday during the US session. With that, guys, let's go ahead and take a look at a smaller chart here on S&P, give you guys a closer view on what's going on. So you can see nice price action movement as we're grinding into this level that we have right here at 93. I'm looking for another pullback to retest this area, and again, this pullback may go deeper. And what I really want to see is, even if it goes deeper, I want to see these sellers try to actually make it lower and fail to do that and get right back up, pull this right back up to our measured moves of 4100, 4105, and then 4112 off the buying opportunity. We could stall right here. We could get that consolidation that moves right in this area and bounces and then pushes back up. So it's all a matter of the type of price action we get, but we got our first bounce off 93, which is trying to grind to the upside right now. So again, waiting for that pullback, maybe a double bottom, and then get a nice move up from there. Again, we got 85 spotted out. I am going to mark this level underneath to show the actual potential range that we could have right here, and then this low side already highlighted with an ellipse right down here that we had a nice double bottom here right off the move. A lot of those, very proud of the members in pure structure trading. They had a lot of good opportunities right in this area, and a lot of them took very nice longs from this area. Very, very, very proud of all of the guys' growths, guys and girls, all of you guys' growths in the actual uh, trading community. Very, very proud of you guys and for taking that trade long. Was a very good one. Did have a lot of grinding movement to the upside, but ultimately tore through some levels and headed to the upside from there. Let's take a look at gold here real quickly. See what we got here. For gold, it does have a very nice move. We kind of look similar to S&P 500. We did have a very nice move to the upside. Now, during the London session, we did not get the opportunity to get off these 36s. We did miss that, but we did pull right up into a nice level where we consolidated right here. 42.7 was a great 1, 2, 3 touches here, and then a push to tear right into our level of 48 to 50. Nice touch. We couldn't make it any lower from there, and we started to grind back to the upside here on gold as well. So when we touched into the US session, you could see the market failed to do something, and then we capitalized on that to make it into our next measured move of 1755. And then above that, you can see this consolidation happen. Now we have strong resistance sitting right at about 1759 to 60, so we want to pay attention to that. Now this is not an area really where we want to go long. We did see the consolidation happen, but we could see a very strong level at those 59 to 60s, and above that's going to be right around these 64 to 65s. Above that level, we're going to have another level, a measured move of 1775, but we do want to pay attention to these 59 to 60s. That is a strong level. Ideally, we anticipate the market to try to move down. Now, we can move down into 1750.8, which is a key level of resistance that we may be able to bounce off of. We already had a nice bounce from there to push up. We could actually see the market try to bounce here and then go back up. More importantly, though, what I do want to see on this move is I have highlighted here in this green box a range, a very strong area that we potentially could see the buyers actually come in and support the idea to the upside. And I do want to see throughout the London session if we stall here at these 50s, come back maybe even to these 47.9s. But more importantly, I am looking to see this market between these 45 to 42s and see if we actually hold this level as support. We may hold on the top, we may hold on the bottom. This is a matter of this actual price action to push back up. But if we fail to get through this low of 42.7, I am actually looking to continue the longs from there. So I will see what the market gives us throughout this London session and into the US session. That way I get a better understanding of what we're going to be doing into the US session based off of where we're at on our levels. But again, I am looking for these 1750.8 as my first interest level to see if we actually hold and try to retest these 55.4s. If we fail to get through that area, we could actually see this market try to grind a little bit lower. I'm not too sure if I really want to try to short, but we'll see if we get the opportunity. If we stay underneath this level, I may end up taking a short to try to retest these 50s, get into these 47 and then 45s. But ultimately, there may be some buying opportunities along the way here, right up until this area here. So we'll keep an eye out for that to see what we actually get as we start to try to climb back down to some major levels that we have lined up. Let's take a look at gold on a smaller chart. Let's remove some of these lines here real quickly. Take a look at gold on a smaller chart for you guys. That way you guys get a closer view as to what the market has been giving us here. So with this, guys, you can see we're trying to grind right back down into a key level that we have here, which is 1750.8. Again, this may be a area that we're looking to see if we get that first support bounce, which is going to be interesting. But for gold, if you are looking for the long, I would actually look for this thing to grind down here to 50.8 first. If it doesn't stop there, look for the style at right around 47. If not, we're going to look at these 45 to 42s as support. If we do get this bounce off 50.8, I definitely want to see it try to pull into these, what is this level? Maybe about 54? Yeah, 54, 55 is that mid level. And then above that into, is that, I'm sorry, 53, I'm sorry, right around, yeah, no, 53.7, 54. Then above that into 55.4, right around this yellow line that we have. Now we could retest those 60s, but the way I would actually go about this is if we get this long opportunity, we may end up retesting this level right here and maybe a good bounce from there to retest those 60s and then try to push up higher from there. So we'll see what happens on gold as well. But again, that is it for S&P 500 and also gold. Hopefully you guys enjoyed these videos. If you guys did, please go ahead and smash that like button. For those who watch these videos and are not subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and subscribe. If you guys have any questions, feel free to pop them in here on YouTube. We would love to answer those questions for you guys. If you guys are interested in joining Pure Structure Trading, learning how to find consistency in trading, how to trade your levels, how to find confidence in your ability to see your entries and to trade with confidence, feel free to pop into the Pure Structure Trading website, or you can even message us here on YouTube or direct message us as well. We'll get back to you guys. For those who are subscribed to the channel, thank you very much for watching these videos and liking them. Again, guys, you guys have a great night. You guys take care. There you go.